What's up, everyone? It's Thanksgiving 2013. I hope everyone is having a nice day. I'm about to leave to see my family. But yesterday I made a bunch of short clips of just the different experiments I was doing and how I was changing up mostly the inductors and the cell, and got some interesting results. Much better than the previous videos. So hope you enjoy. Hey guys, so over the last half hour or so, I wired all the tubes in series. I designed this whole thing to be in parallel, and that's why it looks so dumb right now in series. Okay, try that again. Okay, so we're at half an amp. It is producing. And 140 volts. Peak to peak. So I switched out the microwave, the double primary microwave oven transformer inductor set out for the two inductors on this VIC that I made. I'm not using the primary and the secondary right now. I'm just using the inductors, and they're going to just one tube that I've hooked up right now, and the scope is set up. So I'll go ahead and turn it on. So yeah, some production, and you're at half an amp. Check the scope. So let's see if I can actually focus on this for once. 510 volts peak to peak. 120 hertz around 256 volts max, and the mean, we're actually pretty close to zero average. So yeah, 500 volts, that's pretty good. Alright. And like I said, only the inductors, not the primary and secondary. Alright, so this is going to be the same setup as last time, just the two inductors are being used, not the primary and secondary. Other stuff going on, but yeah, just using the inductors off this VIC. The difference is that I'm going to have all the tubes hooked up. The scope is still hooked up, so we'll turn this up to 50 volts input. Okay. Look down the scope. Okay, we're still doing 510 volts peak to peak. Hopefully you can actually see that. If not, you'll have to take my word for it. And it is producing. Okay, so I took the other two coils off. That makes everything easier for all of us, I guess. Still running half an amp. Still have nice production going on. And still at 510 volts. That is my roadblock right now, 510 volts, peak to peak. So I just mentioned probably in the last clip that I have a 510 volt barrier or roadblock, and maybe you're getting tired of these short clips, but it turns out that the roadblock is actually this scope probe. So as soon as I went over the point where I was at 500 volts or so, I kept hearing this noise, and I thought it was a transformer or the core vibrating, and that I was starting to push too much current. And it turned out that wasn't true. It's like I finally started looking around for this noise closer, or for the actual source, because it was very strange, and it was actually the switch. I could see the switch vibrating, and it was actually looked like it was smoking a little bit. This is a 10 step down, and I didn't realize this, and I kind of remember now when I bought this years ago that I think it was only rated for 500 volts. So this probe is trash now, but I had a 100 step down available. I should have been using that the whole time, but I thought this was good up to a few 4,000 volts. And that was stupid. But I won't do that again. Okay, so we're back. This time, 100 step down, got up to 2 kilovolt. So I am going to stay within that range. I'm not going to burn this one up. And also, I added in another coil. This which side is this even on? This is on the positive side. I'll test it out different ways. But yeah, so let's fire it up. I'll try to zoom in actually better than that. That was kind of bad camera work on my end, so I'll let it clear up a second. Okay, I'll turn it back on. Yeah, so that's fogging up pretty quick now that all the tubes are going, huh? So, as you can see, we are at 1 amp. And about 1800 volts. Now that is pretty cool, peak to peak, of course. We're still at 280 volt max, but peak to peak, 1800 volts, about 780, whatever. I'll take that. That's pretty cool. I'm going to back it down to about half an amp now. Let's see where we're at. Okay, so we're still at about 1300 volts at half an amp. Hopefully this is actually focusing and you can see it. Okay, so Another short video clip. Same inductor setup, except for this huge inductor is now on the negative side. Was on the positive side. I'm not sure if I'll put that video in or not, because I don't really like it, but we'll see. This is where it should be, actually, or where I planned on putting it the first time. Anyway, not important. Everything's hooked up. I will try to focus on this while I turn it on. Okay, so production definitely happening. Nothing new. So we are at 1 amp. As you can see, we're getting huge positive spikes. 1300 volts peak to peak, and then the max is 1000 volts. A little strange, still a little. Alright, so I just made another small change, or big change really. The two coils on that side right there, they're in series, and that's on the negative side. And then these two coils are in parallel, and that's on the positive side, and they're in parallel because I wanted to increase the capacitance. And we're just below 1 amp. And I'll just stop this. So that's what the waveform looks like. And we're at 1500 volts peak to peak and 1300 volts max. What's up, everyone? This is a similar setup, except for I am using one of the inductors off of the microwave oven transformer inductor thing that I made. Just one of them, and that's on the negative side of the circuit. So I'll go ahead and turn it on. Okay. And we are half amp. $2,000 volts. I said I wasn't going to do that. Turn it up just a little bit. Okay, 920 volts, and obviously it can go over 2000, but the scope probe is only rated for that, and I just pretty much pushed it that far. The Vmax is 1600 volts, so that's pretty good. And waveform, just giant positive spikes. I'm pretty happy with that.